Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, speaking at the Northeast Life Conclave in Guwahati on dynastic politics, said there are certain advantages, but he had to work hard to reach his position. The Meghalaya Chief Minister said that he lost his first election and then he had to go amidst the people to earn their trust. Listen in.
Many people say that you are a product of dynastic politics. How do you respond? Because many feel that it is cakewalk in politics for sons and daughters of political leaders, which I personally think is not. It's not a cakewalk. But I want to hear from you how easy or difficult it is being the son of an established political personality.
There is no right answer to this, but the best way I can put forward my point is that number one, I lost my first election. So this was when my father was still alive, and this was in 2004. And actually, the reason I lost was because I thought I was P.A. Sangma's son, and so I should win. And that's precisely the reason why I lost. And then I let go of that tag. I was very down for a few months. And then I started walking and working with the people from village to village in that constituency which I had contested. And that changed me a lot, and I had to really work hard. And then I won the next election. The election after that, again, I lost because I thought that I had done so well as an MLA that I should win. And of course, we had floated the new party called the National People's Party, and I had to campaign along with my father in other places. So the only thing I can say is that there is a certain advantage you get. Number one, you are brought up, with certain principles that you see in the leader, or your father or your mother who's there, and you learn from those principles and cultures of politics. I think that is the key. So for me, I'll just tell you what matters a lot in our politics is shaking hands with people. And while you shake hands, you should have eye contact and you should smile. A simple thing, a rule like this. And I learned that from my father, which you will be surprised to know that many, many politicians take ages to realize. So, in short, to answer your question, yes, there are certain advantages, like you learn certain cultures, certain principles in politics, and that's what is advantageous. And maybe for a moment, for maybe one election or for one particular situation, that particular link from your parents could help. But it's not sustainable. Ultimately, you have to deliver as an individual. There is the name can last for a certain time. It cannot last forever. And people will see through you and ultimately value you for what you are, not for the brand that you are in. So the product ultimately will have to perform. So therefore, I know it's a very, very long question to answer, a very complicated question to answer, but that's the way I see it. It is not sustainable. It is not a long-term. It may give you a short-term advantage, but at the end of the day, you have to prove yourself to the...
And Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, speaking on pressure groups, said that the government has no issues with pressure groups if they do not hamper the development process of the government.
Now, pressure groups, Mr. Conrad Sangma, Northeast has any number of pressure groups. What has been your experience in the pressure groups? Do you look at them as watchdogs? Or do you look at them as groups? Of course, I'm not generalizing. Or do you generally look at them as groups which are out to pull things back? Because you are unable to extend a railway line to Meghalaya because of pressure groups.
I always look at any organization or any group's intent. And that is the only way to really judge what is it that they're trying to do. And at the end of the day, if their intent is for the larger good, then we are happy to engage. And I have always followed the principle of engaging with everybody, simply because everybody is a part of the system, a part of society. And hence, everybody has, in a way, a right to express their concerns. So I have followed the process of engagement over trying to use, say, force to try to neutralize or try to, remove anybody, or remove in the sense that, to kind of suppress them. I don't think that's a policy that can really work, especially in smaller states like ours, where the communities are very important to us. Society is very important to us. We have got small villages. And therefore, in this kind of situations, we need to see that engagement is done. Having said that, when you talk about a large project like the railway, there has been a opposition to this in the Khasi Hills region especially for a very, very long time. I remember even during my late father's time in the 90s, in the 80s, there was opposition. And that's why the railway was then further, at that point in time, was taken to Garo Hills and Mendi now today as a railway station. Today, some other parts of the state are expressing their willingness to see if the railways can be extended to other parts. So rather than looking at it from a point of view where we try to really, as I said, go head on and try to see, we try to understand their concerns, and some concerns are there. Wherever the intent is correct, we try to engage. And as you correctly said, in the Northeast in general, we have this kind of a culture. It's been there for a long time. It's also reflected in the fact that, if you remember when we had started the movement for the statehood, even that time, there were a lot of organizations that had peaceful demonstrations and rallies. So it's, in a way, a part of the system and a culture that is there always. But as I said, when anybody has a wrong intent and tries to, utilize this in the wrong way, that's when we draw the line.
Right.